Fluent Fox Podcast.
Learn English by listening. We're here to unpack big ideas and really get to the heart of what matters. Today we're tackling something pretty universal, this whole idea of stepping outside your comfort zone. And we're using insights from Embrace Growth, Step Beyond Your Comfort Zone, as our guide. So our mission really is to figure out what this comfort zone actually is, why we, tend to get stuck there.
Right.
And then look at some practical, maybe small steps to start moving out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, why bother? What are the actual benefits?
Yeah, what's the payoff? We want to pull out those key bits of wisdom, give you a really clear take on, something that's pretty vital for growing, I think.
Definitely.
And look, this isn't just like abstract thinking. It's about real shifts, things you can actually do that might spark those aha moments. Make life a bit more interesting no matter where you're starting from.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's dig in. How does this book, Embrace Growth, actually define the comfort zone? It sounds cozy, but what is it?
Well, the book gives a really useful picture. It calls it a psychological space where our actions feel predictable, we don't see much risk, and we feel, safe.
Okay.
It's kind of like being in a room you know really well. You know where the sofa is, where the TV is, everything's familiar. In everyday life, that means doing the same routines, talking to the same people mostly, going to places you know.
Right. Avoiding surprises.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's a place where you don't expect anything unexpected, so there's no feeling of immediate danger.
Which sounds nice, right? Safe and happy. Who wouldn't want that? But then there's this immediate catch the book points out. While it feels good, it's also where we, quote, do not grow.
Precisely. And they use this great analogy. Think of a small plant. If that plant just stays in its tiny pot, well, it's not going to get very big, is it?
No.
To really thrive, to reach its potential, it needs a bigger pot, maybe some new soil, room to spread out. Yeah. And the book connects that straight to us. Yeah. Our comfort zone is that small pot. If we want to grow, expand what we can do, what we experience, we really have to start looking beyond the edges of that pot.
Okay, that makes sense. The small pot limits growth. So if growing means getting out of the pot, why is it so hard? We kind of know we should grow, right? But why do we often just stay put, cling to what we know?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And Embrace Growth really zooms in on two main reasons, deep-seated ones. The first one, and it's a biggie, is fear.
Fear.
And it's not just one simple fear. It's like fear of new things, fear of meeting new people, and maybe the biggest one, fear of failing. Think about trying something new like, learning a language.
Okay.
Your brain might instantly go, oh, what if I say it wrong? What if people laugh? What if I look stupid?
Yeah, that internal critic.
Exactly. That what if can be incredibly powerful. It can just freeze you. But the book makes a really strong point. Making mistakes, that's not failure. It's just learning. It's part of how we learn anything. It's okay.
Right. Data points, not disasters.
You got it.
Yeah.
And the second reason is, it's also super relatable. The book calls it sort of cognitive inertia. But basically, it's laziness.
Okay, simple enough.
Well, yeah. It's just fundamentally easier for our brains to follow the paths we already know, to stick with the familiar. Trying something new takes actual effort. It takes energy, focus. You have to consciously push yourself. And often, our brain, wanting to be efficient, just opts for the easy route. Relax, do what's comfortable, don't spend the energy.
That rings so true. Fear and just inertia, the path of least resistance. I think everyone feels that pull. But, okay, knowing why we stay stuck is one thing. How do we actually start nudging ourselves out? How do we begin?
And that's where Embrace Growth gets really practical and I think encouraging. It stresses that leaving your comfort zone isn't about some massive, scary jump into the unknown.
Okay, good.
No, it's a process. It's about taking small steps.
Yeah.
The idea isn't jumping off a cliff. It's more like just opening the door a crack and peeking outside first.
I like that. Less intimidating. So what's the first peek? The book suggests step 1, try a new small thing.
Yeah, and the examples are great because they're so doable. Think about your day. Always get the same coffee. Try a different blend tomorrow. Always walk the same way to work, just turn down a different street. Listen to the same music playlist. Put on something totally new.
So tiny changes.
Tiny changes. These aren't big risks, right?
Yeah.
You're not risking much. But what they do is they start to teach your brain something important. New isn't automatically scary. Sometimes new is just new or even interesting.
Okay, retraining the brain bit by bit makes sense. What about people? That often feels harder. Step 2, talk to a new person.
Yeah, this one can feel a bit more daunting for some people. But the book argues it's really important for building confidence. The idea isn't you have to suddenly become this super extrovert. It's about small interactions. Maybe just say hello or good morning to the person making your coffee and mean it. Or ask a colleague you don't know well a simple question, like about their weekend.
Low stakes stuff.
Very low stakes, just a few words. But doing that starts to chip away at the fear of interacting with new people. And bonus, you're practicing basic communication skills too.
Right, getting those social muscles working gently. And the third step they suggest, step 3, learn a new skill.
This one's really empowering, I find. Learning something new, even something small. The book gives examples like try cooking a new recipe, or learn a couple of chords on the guitar if you have one lying around, or maybe just learn how to say hello and thank you in a new language.
Again, achievable things.
Yeah. And the great thing here is, first, it gives you a clear goal to work towards, which feels good. And second, when you actually manage it, even if it's small, you get that little buzz of pride. Hey, I did that. And that feeling, that helps you feel more capable, more willing to try the next new thing.
That makes a lot of sense. Small wins, building momentum. Okay, but I can imagine someone listening thinking, all right, I get the how, but why? My comfort zone is comfortable. I'm happy here. It's a fair question. What's the real payoff? What's the richness beyond that the book talks about?
It is a fair question. And the book lays out some pretty compelling answers. First off, stepping out actually makes you stronger, more resilient.
How so?
Well, every time you try something new, even if it doesn't go perfectly, you're learning. You're building new skills, yes, but you're also learning how to handle unexpected situations, how to solve problems you haven't faced before. Remember that new dish you tried cooking? Maybe the first time it wasn't great.
Probably wasn't, knowing my cooking.
Yeah. Right, but you learned something. Maybe too much salt, maybe cooked too long. Next time, you adjust. That process of trying, adjusting, learning from mistakes, that builds real inner strength and make you better equipped for whatever life throws at you.
Okay, resilience. Makes sense. What else?
Second, big benefit. It boosts your confidence. Big time. Every time you have one of those small successes, talking to that new person, figuring out that new recipe, learning those guitar chords, it sends a message to your brain. I can do this.
Yeah, that feeling is powerful.
It really is. And that's not just surface level confidence. It's a deeper feeling of self-efficacy, of capability. And that kind of confidence spills over into everything, your work, your friendships, how you handle challenges.
So it's not just about the specific new thing. It's about building a general sense of I can handle stuff.
Exactly. And maybe the most inspiring benefit the book highlights is how it makes your life fundamentally more interesting. They use this really nice analogy. Your life is like a book. If you do the same things every single day, talk to the same people, never try anything new, well, your life story is kind of like a book with only one chapter repeated over and over.
A bit dull, maybe?
Could be. But when you start trying new things, stepping out, you're essentially writing new chapters. You meet new characters, those new people you talk to. You have new plot points to those new experiences. You collect new stories to tell. Your life just becomes fuller, more textured, more of an adventure, really.
Wow, that's a powerful way to put it. Not just living, but actively writing your own more interesting story. Okay, so bring this home for everyone listening. How does all this great stuff from Embrace Growth connect directly to, say, their own learning journey? Maybe they're learning a language or new skill right now.
Yeah, it connects really directly. And it's interesting because for a lot of you, just tuning into a deep dive like this, maybe on a topic you haven't explored much before, or even just listening in this format, that itself might be a small step outside your usual routine, your information comfort zone.
Good point.
And if it is, that's fantastic. That's already putting this into practice.
Absolutely. So how can people listening take these ideas, the small steps, facing the fear, and apply them more deliberately to skill development? What does the book suggest?
Well, it offers some actionable tips. First, think about the key words we've used today. Comfort zone, fear, inertia or laziness, risk, confidence, resilience, self-efficacy. Try to actually use these words. Maybe you write them down, say them out loud when you're thinking about your own learning, make them active tools in your vocabulary.
Okay, integrate the concept.
Exactly. Second, maybe listen to this deep dive again, but this time if you have access to the transcript, try reading along while you listen. That engages different parts of your brain, connecting the sounds with the written words. It can really deepen understanding. It's a form of multimodal learning.
Good tip. Reading and listening together.
And third, related to building confidence. Find ways to check your understanding or progress as you learn whatever new skill you're working on. Maybe do a little quiz for yourself or try explaining the concept to someone else. And when you see you've learned something, acknowledge it. Feel proud of yourself, like the book says. That positive feedback loop is crucial.
Celebrating the small wins again.
Always. It fuels the next step.
Okay, this has been incredibly insightful. As we wrap up, what's one final challenge or takeaway for our listeners?
All right, here's a simple, concrete challenge for this week. Just one thing. I want you to consciously do one small thing that feels just a little bit outside your current comfort zone.
Just one small thing?
Yep, it could be anything. Maybe you do try ordering your coffee in that language you're learning. Maybe you write just one paragraph about your day, but you try writing it in a slightly different style than usual. Maybe you listen to one song from a genre you normally skip right past.
Tiny steps.
Tiny steps. It might feel a tiny bit awkward, or you might hesitate for a second. That's okay. That's the sign you're on the edge. But notice how you feel after you do it. That little spark of, I did it. The feeling of having stretched yourself even just a millimeter. That's invaluable. Because remember, the book's core message isn't about making giant, terrifying leaps.
Right.
It's about understanding that leaving the comfort zone is really just a whole bunch of small steps added together. And every single one of those small steps, that's actually a really big win.
A great reminder, every small step is a big win. And maybe a final thought for everyone to chew on from all this. Just consider how much of what feels like comfort in your life right now might actually be, well, a kind of quiet stagnation. And what's just one tiny, manageable step you could take, maybe even today, that could start shifting that feeling towards possibility, towards writing that next chapter.